Hello, I am a minute late. I'm sorry. Wait, I'm hearing my own. I'm hearing my audio. Shouldn't be happening. Let's start it off. Transition and welcome. Welcome to my first stream. Well, this is a lie. It's not the first one technically, but it's my first real one. I'm gonna make something specifically for the stream. And today I'm gonna try to make the LED light effect kind of like the one you just saw on the preview, but make it more universal so I can apply it to any model I want. And then I will probably try to make a scene with it and see where this goes. Okay, we should make sure everything works properly. I think it's fine. All right. I think everything goes well. We can start with this default cube scene. Contrary to what you might think, I'm not actually going to delete the default cube for now. I'm probably going to work with it, actually. So the idea is kind of a LED panel effect. Like, I'm going to show you my BRB scene, which is sort of what I'm talking about. So a surface that consists of a lot of shiny circles that can shine with a specific light, with a specific color. And we can turn it on or off procedurally in the shader. So how I want to do it is I want to take this cube, I'll subdivide it so that it has more faces. I'm going to use simple subdivision so that it doesn't smooth it. Apply. So now I'm gonna set up my shader in such a way that every face will be its own LED lamp that can change colors individually. And to do that, I will have to set up UV maps, because I will have more of them, more than just one, in a certain way. So usually when we work with UV maps, we unwrap our model so that we can apply some sort of texture to the surface. So you have the surface in 3D, and then you remap this same surface in 2D so that some kind of image can fit on it. And it's how it's usually done. It's what UVs are usually used for. But when we do shaders, we can also store all kinds of data in it that we can later access. UVs are basically just data. It's just two additional float numbers you can use. So it's up to you, what are you going to do with it. And if you have multiple UV maps, you can even have more data, so you can store all kinds of fun stuff. So what I'm gonna do with this cube is I'm gonna unwrap it in such a way that every face is exactly 1 unit long in the UV space. So I will have one face fitting here, then one face fitting here. Actually, that would be probably easier to do with a plane than with a cube. Yeah, let's do with a plane. Let's do the simpler one first. I'm gonna make a grid. I'm gonna make it 10 subdivisions. Also make it 10 meters. Doesn't really matter. Oh, so if I want to have 10-meter plane and I want and I want every face to be 1 meter long, I'll have to make it 11 subdivisions. Oh, I mean 9. because there will be one more face. No, I'm wrong. Don't listen to me. It's 11, right? Yes, so 11 subdivisions means that we are actually getting 10 faces, because it doesn't count the faces when you specify the subdivisions, it counts the lines, and it takes into account the these two lines on the left and on the right. So if you count them all, it's 11, but if you count the faces, it's 10. So as I said, I wanna unwrap it so that every face is exactly as big as this UV 0 to 1 square. And I can do it in a number of ways. I can just scale this existing UV map 10 times and it will work, but I will use cube projection for this one. So cube projection is like, it takes all the faces in the model and projects it onto the 6 sides of an imaginary cube. And it takes the one projection for each face or group of faces that fits best. In this case, all of the faces will be projected onto just one side of the cube because they are all coplanar. So it doesn't really matter. I'm just here for the cube size, and the cube size will be 1 because each of my faces is 1 meters big. Oh no, it's actually 2, I guess. Why is this the case? It's probably because it specifies like the half size of the cube. Blender does it sometimes in some areas. Yeah, I'll just specify 2. It's fine. So now I can move it. I want it to start in the corner, so I'll move it first by 0.5 to align it with the grid, and then I'll have to move it by 4 in X and by 4 in Y. Here we go. So now every face could fit into this square. What does it mean? It means that we have now an integer part of the UV of every face and also the fractional part if we look inside a face. And that matters when we do shaders, because when we work with shaders, we work with the inside of the faces. So if I take the fractional part, I will see where on the face this point is. But if I make a floor operation, I will get an integer part, which is basically, in this case, an ID of every face. Every face will get a unique combination. So this one, if I floor the UV coordinates, it will get 0, 0. This one will get 1, 0. This one will get 0, 1. So I could, for example, sample noise and it will give unique values for every face. We'll see that soon in the shader. So for now, I don't think I should do anything else here. We might come back here later to do some additional unwrapping, but let's move to the shading tab. So here is where we create all the materials. Let's create new one. We don't need the principled shader for now. I'm just gonna work with the pure values. I will add the surface shader in the end when I actually make a surface for my material. So if I just take my UV map, plug it into here, I'm gonna see that it will go into the yellow very fast. Like if you take like a regular plane without any modifications that we made, and you use the same material on it, it will be like a smooth gradient across the whole plane. And this one is like scaled. Well, that's because that's exactly what we did. We scaled the UVs. So now it goes into 1, 1 and beyond at this point. So as I already told you, we can take the fractional part of this UV coordinates with the help of math. I'm sorry, not math, vector math, because we work with the vector. If I take modulo 1, 1, 1, it will give me only the fractional part. So now I can see that for every face, I'm getting its own mini like UV map, which I can use to create some sort of shape for our LED map. I could actually use any texture. Like I could make like a star-shaped texture in Substance Designer, for example, or Photoshop, or wherever. And it will be very simple. I would just use this vector to get the coordinates on the texture. But we're making things procedurally here, so instead I'm going to make a procedural circle shape. So to get a circle shape, we want to get the distance from some sort of origin. And right now our origin for every face is in the corner. Like the origin is the 0, 0 coordinate. It's in the corner. We can see that by looking for black color. So if we want our circle to be in the middle of every face, we will want to move this origin somehow into the middle. And since we know that the whole thing is 1, 0 to 1, we can just subtract or add. No, subtract 0.5 from X and Y to move this origin. So again, we'll need vector math. We could use mapping node for that, or vector math, doesn't really matter. Let's subtract. Where is the subtraction? Here it is. 0.5, 0.5, 0. So now we see that X and Y go to black in the middle of the face right now. So as I said before, now I only have to get the distance from it to 0. Oh, actually, I could have made it without the subtraction. If I just specified distance to 0.5 instead of the 0, I could use this vector. Could I? Oh yeah. Yeah, it works just well enough. Let's leave it as that. I forgot that you can specify the distance to a specific point as opposed to the origin. So now to get the final round shape, all I need to do is just a threshold. Like, I just want to say that anything that closer to this center than a certain point is an LED lamp, and everything that is further from it is not. So to do that, I'll just make a math node. I need math and not vector math now, because now I'm working with a float value, not vector. You can tell by the color, by the way. If the color is blue, then it's a vector. If the color is gray, then it's a float value. And I need a less than operation. Let's make it this big. Great. So now I have a mask. Now I have the mask that specifies what parts of surface are LED lamps and what are not. I will use it later. Let's just stash it here for now. Now let's do the noise sampling part. The thing I was talking about when I told you about like integer values. So as I said before, every face will now have different integer values if we floor the UV coordinate. We can use that to sample some sort of noise or texture at different places, and it will give a unique coordinate for each of the faces. So let's do that now. I'm gonna use the shader. I'm gonna use the vector math node again with the floor operation. It only takes in one parameter. And let's sample some sort of noise texture. Use this as the vector. Let's see what it looks like. By the way, I'm using the Node Wrangler add-on. It's packed with the Blender, but you have to activate it in the preferences. Right here. Here it is. It's very cool because you can quickly preview any node by just Ctrl-Shift clicking on it. It's very essential when you work with nodes. It actually has more functionality than that, but I should learn it myself. I only mostly use it for the Ctrl-Shift click. Okay, now it looks just flat, so I probably made some sort of mistake. No, I haven't, it's just too small. So, as you can see, if I change the scale of the noise, it changes the look of the plane. And every face gets its own color because it samples the same position in the noise. It's interesting that on some scales it looks completely flat. Let's leave it as that for now. I can make a color ramp now to slightly enhance the contrast. Could probably use less detail. I don't need detail on this. Alright. And to color this, I could use another color ramp, or I will probably use vertex colors in the end. Let's use a color ramp for now. So I have this one to enhance contrast, and this one will actually color the plane. So let's say it will have green and yellow and everything in between. I don't know if you see it, but it doesn't have a lot of contrast on my monitor, so I probably will change it to red and yellow. Yeah, that's better. So now I have two parts of my shader. This one creates unique colors for different parts of the surface, and this one creates a mask for the LED pattern. So now I can combine them to make these LEDs that emit a specific color of light. I can use this with Mix RGB node, set to multiply, basically using this as a mask. I could actually do that same thing with math node. I believe it does the same thing as using mix multiply, but since we're working with colors, it will make more sense to use the multiply. I mean the mix RGB node. I could use even more different colors. Looks like there's more yellow than pink in here, or magenta. What is this color? So it's probably should be gamma corrected for a better balance. Not sure. I'm not sure how values of the noise texture I forgot the word, sorry. I'm not sure what's the distribution of the values of the noise texture. Alright. So now if I render this, doesn't really look like LEDs, looks like just colored circles. I want to make them actually glow, so I would probably have to multiply this value even more so that it will be very bright. And I will also use an effect, a filter in the compositing tab to add some glow to it. So let's use the math node again. No, sorry, vector math, because again, we are working with a color, and the color is basically a vector. It has 3 components. So we'll use vector math to work with it. I want to scale it by some value. Let's say value is 10. So now you see it's desaturated. Because, well, that's how tone mapper works. When you make something very bright, it desaturates it until it becomes so bright you just basically see white. But if we add a glow effect to it, glare. Let's also add viewer so we can see what we're doing. Now you see it glows with the original color. That might be too bright. Let's change it to 6. Okay, I think it's fine for now. So, what else can I do? I want to make like a noise pattern that goes in waves through the panel and makes the lights turn on and off. Again, like on my BRB screen. So to do that, I will have another noise texture that again will be sampled in a similar manner, and I will use a driver to change coordinates of this texture. So I pretty much can just duplicate this. And I will want the scale to be much smaller. So the LEDs are grouped together. will also make it much more. It will have to have much more contrast, so I can actually have fully bright LEDs next to fully off LEDs. I can make some transition between those states by having a gradient in the middle, but I also want there to be those flat planes of black and white. Alright, again, let's try to see how it would look. I will again have to multiply this by other masks I have. Here's the result. So to animate it, I will have to change this vector that I'm sampling the noise at. Right now it just takes the UVs, but to animate it, I will have to constantly add a value to it so that the vector moves in time. Let's create a timeline. And to add some value, I'm going to use, once again, vector math node. Right now I can do it by hand. I can just add a value and see the change in my surface. So all I want to do is just automate it. I could do that with keyframes, but it's not very procedural. It's not a procedural way, and we do things procedurally here. So instead I'm going to make a driver that will drive this change. So to do that, I'll right click on this value and click add driver. I don't need this. All I need is my frame, which is basically, I can use just my frame, but if I look at what it does, oh, it's actually not that bad. Usually when you just use the frame for effects, it's usually way too fast because it changes at a rate of 1 per frame, which makes sense since it's just a frame number. But since we're using a big UV map here, it's not that fast. But anyway, I'm gonna make it a bit slower anyway by dividing it, for example, by 2, which will make it 2 times slower. Maybe even 4. Just so we can clearly see the LEDs turning on and off. So right now the noise pattern just moves upwards. I could also make it slightly evolve by shifting it in another dimension. Right now I'm shifting it in the X dimension, so since UVs use X and Y dimensions in the vector, modifying those dimensions will make the pattern seemingly move. We also have the Z dimension, and if we move the noise, the vector that we're sampling noise with in the Z dimension, it will make the noise evolve because we are changing the plane at which we are sampling the noise. So I could add another driver for a slight evolution. Let's make it very subtle, like 16. Yeah. That's all right. Okay, so what's next? We'll probably do some more stuff with this. Right now I want to try to apply it to different meshes. So at first I want to do that with a cube. So let's try that again. I'm gonna create a cube. I'm gonna subdivide it. Now I have to unwrap it in such a way that each face fits exactly into 0 to 1 UV space. So I could use it like this. So now every face fits into 0 to 1 UV space, literally. But it will not have this integer component that gives us different unique coordinates to each face. So if I apply this material to this cube, right now I can see the LED lights, but it will use the same color across the whole cube. So that's not what I want. Instead, let's try using the follow active quad feature. I think that's what we need. Let's make some seams. I'm gonna select this. Oh no, those are not quads. I'm gonna select this quad so that it's active, and I'm gonna use the follow active quads feature so that all the other quads project themselves from this one. And I think that's the result I wanted. Great. Let's see how it looks. Alright, so it obviously doesn't have a uniform direction. We probably wouldn't be even able to have that because like we're doing the noise in 2D, and if we want like the noise to pass through the cube in one direction, we will have to sample it in 3D. So we would have to use the actual coordinates of the sides of the cube. That's not how we do that in this shader. We could, but then we'll probably have to make it unique for this shape. And I want to do like a universal shader that you can use with any shape. So for that purpose, I think it's fine. The only thing that's not fine is that it only shows the colors on this small part, which is probably because of this part being below 0 in y-axis on the UV, which probably breaks the floor or modular operation, one of those. I could try to fix this in shader. This looks fine. This looks fine too. So it's not the noise. Yeah, it's this. So what's the problem here? Let's see. It's probably the modular. So since I don't really care about the integer part in this mask, I only care about integer part when I work with the noises. So I can safely just take the absolute of this value. It will remove the minus sign if there is one, and just make the modulo of that, which will, in this case, give me the same result, but now it's now it's correct. So modulo in Blender probably, if you are under the 0, if you are in negative space, it will probably still give you the negative. It actually works differently in different languages. In some languages it will move you into the positive what's that, range from 0 to 1. So like if you sample minus 0.5 and you take the modulo of that, it will move you to 0.5. But in some languages and in Blender, seemingly, if you sample minus 0.5, it will still give you minus 0.5 for some reason. Another way to solve that would probably be just add 1 before taking a modulo. No, that will probably not work because we have problems here too, right? Let's try it. No, it only gives us one more of those. So yeah, that's kind of weird. It's fine. We found the solution. That's all that matters. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna get some more water because my mouth feels dry. So I'm gonna be right back in 1 or 2 minutes. I am back. So now I have the pattern of light moving across this surface. Let's make an actual surface, because right now it's just the emissive color and nothing more. I'm gonna make a very simple surface shader. Let's get our principled BSDF back. And this will obviously be our emissive value. So I'm gonna right away connect that to emission. And the surface itself should be pretty dark. And maybe I wanna have the LEDs slightly less rough than other surface, so that you can see them even when they are turned off. So what I can do is I can take this mask of LEDs that I had before and use color ramp to, or probably not even color ramp, mix RGB to define roughness for the black parts and the white parts. I'll use this mask as a factor. So the first color will be the roughness of the black part, and the second color will be the roughness of the white part. So the black part should be slightly more rougher. The white part should be less rougher. Let's see how it looks. I'm gonna turn off the emission for now. I kind of like that. Maybe a little less contrasty. Yeah, I think that looks fine for now. Okay, so I'm probably gonna stop with the material for now and try to make some sort of a scene. I had an idea of making like a giant LED strip that like so big it just lays onto itself, maybe hangs from the ceiling in the room and lights the whole thing. Let's try to do that. I can delete this cube. That will not delete the material unless I save the file. So actually I probably should leave this plane somewhere just in case. And I probably should have saved my project in case something happens. Alright, here we go. Let's create some sort of a room. So I want to see it on the inside, so I'm gonna turn on backface culling so that I don't see the backface. And also I'm gonna select everything in edit mode and flip the normals. So now I can see the inside of the room from the outside. I also want to have a human for scale. I think I had a free human model downloaded somewhere here. Let me see. Yep, here we go. Let's place them here, just so we can see the scale of our scene. And let's create the LED strip itself. So I'm gonna make it hang from the ceiling, and I'll put some sort of collider in the bottom and then push it up. That will probably make the best simulation of it lying on the floor. Let's create a grid. Actually, no, let's create a plane. So this plane will have to be, oops. Have to be long enough something like this. Okay, so now I have to subdivide it so that I can do the close sim. And I should probably have... Oh no, it's fine. So yeah, again, I want it to be 1 meter per subdivision, and then I can subdivide it further with right click, subdivide. So let's make it something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 10 LEDs in the width of the strip. I could probably actually make more than that later. I will use this for the simulation. Okay, now let's add cloth to it, and I will want it to be pinned here so that it doesn't fall down. So I'll have to define a vertex group here. Let's create a vertex group, rename it to pin, assign, and now I need to create the cloth. Oh, stop the animation. And in the shape properties, I can select pin group and select the group that I created. So now it will hang from this group. This group will be static, it won't simulate, and everything else will hang from it. So now I want it to lay on the floor, but if I just make this floor a collision, it will go through it. It won't automatically like lay itself on top of it. So instead, I'm gonna create a collision and then animate it upwards, so like it starts to gradually lay on top of it. Let's create a cube, like this. I don't want to render it, so I will disable it in render. So let's rename it. Let's make it floor collision. Great. Make it a bit bigger. Move it down. I'm gonna enable collision and animate it moving upwards for a few frames. Like that. Oh, I forgot to key the initial position. Might be too fast. Also, it doesn't self-collide, which is not good. Okay, it's Z fighting right now, so I'm probably gonna change visibility. Viewport display of this cube to wire, since I don't actually need to see the surface. And let's change the collision of our cloth so it does self-collide. Didn't help much. Right, maybe I should like move the floor while it goes up. That might make it look a bit better. So, okay, Z location is fine. I'm gonna change XY location. didn't really help. To be honest, I'm not very proficient with cloth simulations. I've done some basic ones, but I basically don't know what I'm doing right now. That is truth. Maybe it actually should have less polygons, so that it's more stiff and doesn't crumble like that. Yeah, let's try this. Let's see how it works if I unsubdivide it. How would I do that in the fastest way possible? Maybe the fastest way possible is just make a new one. Sometimes it is. Let's try to make it 1 meter big and simulate with that. Again, I will have to define a vertex group. Yeah, that is much better. It doesn't twist a lot, though. But yeah, I guess if I want to make cloth that doesn't crumble really, I'll have to make bigger polygons, which makes sense. All right. Maybe I could have a little bit more. Also, let's make friction on this collision surface more bigger, larger. How do you say that properly? So the clothes doesn't slide as much. Oh, I cannot see the back of the cloth because of the backface culling. That's a two-sided sword, if you know what I mean. Because backface culling cuts the other side, you know. That's the joke. All right. I could probably move to the shaded viewport and change the material of this cube to be backface culled like this. It looks weird. Does it? What's happening here? Oh, that's my LED lamp. It's one giant LED lamp across the whole thing. Yeah, I'll have to make the UV map later for this. Okay, it's fine. I could probably try to subdivide it once, so that it's a bit more, so that it bends a little better. Let's see what it does. And it starts crumbling again. It's not that bad. I think it's fine. I think it's good. Yeah. Yeah, let's work with that for now. I'm gonna cache the simulation. And I'm gonna make the UV map so that it properly maps the LED lamps. Let's hide this for now. Again, I can reset it first so that every face is just a square. Then I can select one of the faces. Let's make it this one. And use follow active quads so that it continues this face and maps the whole thing, which should give us the desired result. Yeah, actually, in this model, in this strip, I don't want it to be one LED lamp per face, because then they are just too big. Look at this guy, he's so small. So I can, after I do that, I can additionally scale the faces, so one face will have more than one LED lamp. So I can scale it from the 2D cursor, which is right here, which is where I want it to be. So let's change the pivot point to 2D cursor, and then scale it by, well, let's say 8. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, I think it's fine. Let's see how it looks on the simulation. Shaded smooth. I could also add some subdivision surface to it. To smooth out the jagged polygons. The problem is it will smooth the corners, but I believe that if I select the edges on the edges of the shape and use crease, it shouldn't do that. Let's try. Yeah, so crease prevents subdivision from smoothing certain parts of the model, which is exactly what I want it to do. Also, let's add some thickness to it with solidify. Where is it? Here it is. But now it smoothes out this thickness. It shouldn't. It should be a straight corner. So I'm gonna go to the object data properties, and in normals I'm gonna enable auto smooth. I can move it all the way up to almost 90, so that everything that is below this number will be smooth, and everything that's above it will not. Okay, I think it looks fine. Let's get back our room. Let's go back to shading and change the pattern a little. Now it's very small, we can see the noise. I want it to be bigger so that the whole chunks of the strip will be either lit or not. I could probably use a different type of noise. Maybe Voronoi will look better here. Let's try it. So Voronoi, if you don't know, it separates the It's not very visible here. Let me show you on the plane. It separates the space into cells, and then it gives you the distance to the center of this cell. So you get a pattern like this. It could be either 3D or 2D or 1D or 4D. Yeah, there's a lot of options, but usually you would use either 2D or 3D. Difference when you make a shader, if you make a surface shader, if you use 3D, it will not give you completely black points in the center, because the center of the cell might not be on the plane, it might be slightly above or below. So it might get close to it, but not too close, and then it falls down again. But if you use 2D, it will always have the center of every cell on the plane, so you get perfectly black points in the middle. Here, I don't know, let's try different ones and see what's better for this particular shader. Also, I want to change the direction of the animation. I could probably do that in the UV if I just rotate it. It should be like 8 by 4, which is 24. Nope, not enough. Here we go. Could have left it as it was before. That would work too. Let's also make it faster. It's actually multiplied by something like 8. What? Wait. Huh. Okay, that's weird. Why does it do it? What? It goes up to 56. And then it drops down. What? Why does it do it? It's just a multiplication, should be linear. That is weird. Huh. Let's try to redo that. Yeah, here we go. That was some sort of bug, I guess. That was weird. Okay, I want the circles to be white, so I'm gonna invert the Voronoi texture. This. Let's see the final result. know if I like it. I don't know if I do. Maybe I would look better with bigger lamps. Now it just looks like circles. I don't know. Noise is probably better. Let's also add some detail to it. Okay, I know what I want to do. I want it to not look like it's just a moving pattern. Instead, I want it to like have different LEDs turn on a little faster or a little slower than others, so that the edge is more fuzzy. Right now it looks very like, straight. To do that, I will have to make another noise that will influence the vector that samples this noise. So once again, I will use this coordinate of the individual face. I mean LED light, it's not face anymore. And I will use that to sample another noise. Yeah, something like this. And this color I will use as a vector that will offset the sample of this noise. I mean this noise. This is Voronoi, I'm not gonna use it. So I'll have to make another addition, which will add this vector that we calculated with this noise. And the result is, result is not very pronounced right now, but I can multiply this to make the effect more visible. Vector math. Let's scale this value by some number. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Right now we're just also... It's always bigger than 0, this noise texture, because it's a color. It's in between 0 and 1. But if I'm using it to offset the vector that it samples, it should be from -1 to 1. So I should remap it. I'm gonna use vector map. Or I could just use 2 vector math nodes. The first one will multiply it by 2. Scale. So that now it's gonna be from 0 to 2. And the second one will subtract 1 from each component. So now it's from -1 to 1. So this way, when I change the scale of the output, it will not move the edge itself. It will just make it wider. See how it looks. Yeah, I like it better. Probably even remove this gradient so the pixels are either or on and off, don't have those a period of going up. That's how LEDs work, right? Probably add a second noise that moves at a different speed, so that we can have an overlaying effect. So I'm going to duplicate it and change the speed. So this one is 8 times the frame. So here I'm going to make it like 6 times the frame or 5 times the frame. Let's make it 5. So it's slightly faster than 2 times as slow. And evolution, I can keep the evolution the same. Just copy the driver. Will actually change if I... No, it actually makes a copy. All right. All right, so now I have 2 noises. I could make it so that they are completely different by changing the y-axis. So now they both sample at y0. So in the beginning they will be the same noise in the frame 0, and then they will diverge. So they look the same now, but here they will look different. Yeah, but if I want to make them look completely different, I can just change the y-axis of one of them to like 1000, and that will make them diverge right from the beginning. Right, so now I have 2 noises that move at a different speed. So if I combine them in some way, I will see this overlaid effect. Actually, let's use the overlay blending. That's usually good for stuff like this. Oh, let's use factor. Yeah, so it has still has this directionality, but now there is also some evolution going on. Maybe I can even make the second one slower. Let's make it 3. Huh. Maybe I shouldn't have any evolution at all. And now it looks like there are parts appearing and disappearing. What if I use addition? Very bright. Maybe I should make them actually closer to each other. 6. So it only slightly changes. Also, let's try not having... right now it's like blobs moving down, but if you look at my BRB screen, it's like lines. It's not blobs. So what if I want to make it so that not every individual pixel samples the noise, but the whole line of pixels sample the same part of the noise. So to do that, I'll have to make sure that on this, when I sample this UV map, all the positions on any vertical line will sample the same y coordinate. So only x coordinate should change. And to do that is pretty simple. I will just have to multiply this vector by 1, 0, 1. So now, after this operation, the x value will stay the same, but the y value will become 0, no matter what it actually is. So no matter where are we on the y coordinate in the UV map, we'll always sample 0. Well, 0 and plus something, because we add some values here after that. But from the UV map, we only take zeros. And we can already see that it changed the way it looks. So now it looks like it's actually strips of light going down, not blobs. Let's change it back to 5. See how it looks. Okay, what's the final result? Yeah, I like it. It has some weird artifacts, but that's because we look at the animation. It doesn't do enough samples. We'll be fine on the render. Hey, right now it looks... the material looks fine. The strip itself is kind of weird. It's not very... Hey Blum Blum, how are you doing? Look, I already made something. So now I have to take this and make some sort of actual artistic thing with it. How would I make it more artistic? Right now it's just sort of lies on the floor. Maybe I should make some connections. I don't know. Maybe I should make another box so that it drops from this box onto the floor. Let's try that. Oh no. Oh, it doesn't use it as the collision. Weird. Okay, it's fine. I can make another one. Actually, I should make another one because if it will be visible, I would want that to be a separate object. Let's make another cube and change this dimensions a little. Like this. Okay. Make it a collision, increase the friction. And parent that to this box. So now it moves with it. Oh wait. Oh, of course. I forgot to uncache the simulation. Yeah, let's remove the cache, because now if I simulate, it doesn't actually simulate, it just shows me the bake. To delete the bake. And now it should be working. Does it? Does it work? Let's move it a little lower. Yeah, it does. It's too fast. Oh no. It is too fast. Okay, let's make everything a bit slower. Let's change the simulation to 1000. And let's stretch this out like this. Let's give it some time to rest. Looks like looks like the chocolate bar covering, you know? That is more interesting. Doesn't look very good, but I think I'm moving in the right direction. Twix, yeah, looks like Twix, but with LED lights. Let's change the animation. So right now it only goes this way. Might even go too far. So let's change that. Yeah. Oh no, it goes through it goes through the corner. But yeah, this is more what I'd like to see. I don't want this straight part here, so I probably have to change animation on this. Where does it happen? Here. Yeah, I have to change this one. Let's move X here. What are you doing? I mean, what is the end goal for this nice strip? Well, the strip kind of was the end goal. Now I'm just trying to figure out some sort of scene with it. I want to make a room, a white room with the strip lighting it up. Yeah, the thing with closed simulations is that you can't really control them. You can influence them, but you cannot control them. They do their own thing, so I guess it's a lot of trial and error until it looks good enough. Let's try this. I can delete this. Could also rotate it. Right now it doesn't rotate. Might give better results if I do rotate it. Oof. Okay, that might take some time to get some nice results. Maybe this one shouldn't be that drastic. I don't like that it falls here in the beginning. Wow. Nice. Okay. Yeah, now it's completely on one side. Okay, so what should I do so that it doesn't fold here? It goes here, then it goes back onto itself. Yeah, I should probably change this. Still folds. Oh, no, now it folds better. I like this kind of fold. Still, it's mostly on this side, so I could probably actually start with this hanging off here. Oh, wait, what? Yeah, I like it hanging. Maybe like this. Oh. It's hard. Yes, sorry, I'm being silent. I'm very concentrated on this. I wanna make it perfect. Just kidding, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just trying to eyeball it, hoping it will look good at some point. Blum, how are you? Not for long. Not for long what? It's a mess. Maybe I should actually try some rotations. That might be good. Yeah, let's do the Z Euler rotation. No, that's X. I don't want X. I only want Z. You've been silenced. Yes, by work. I don't know. Wait, it doesn't actually rotate. Oh, it does. Okay, I just have to move it much further. Yeah. See, that's much better. Now this is nice. This is nice. I like this. It's almost perfect. It's not yet. But it's close. Yes. Let's celebrate. I don't know how. How do we celebrate? I have water. Cheers. Oh no, now it's not as good. Well, yeah, as I said, simulations are not very controllable beasts. Just hope it looks good. Oh. Okay, maybe I shouldn't go that far here. Yeah. It's a bit clumped. But I like it. Maybe I could have a few smaller strings attached to this one so that they give a bit more variety. Yeah, let's try that. Actually, let's try just cutting this one into a few separate strings. Oh yeah, I forgot it only has like 4 polygons. It's fine. It's fine. Let's just add more. Oops. That shouldn't happen. What is going on? Whoa! Is this because of the self-collision? Should I move it a little? Yeah, I guess it was. It's slower now. But I think I like the variety. We have like a big strip and two smaller ones. They all end up in different places, which is nice. A little chaos in our scene. Not a bad thing. So actually, oh no, reset the simulation. What does it do? Oh, what? Don't overlap on yourself like this, please. It's better. Thank you. I think so too. Oh, tell me if I speak too quietly, because I often go into very quiet voice if I talk long enough. Why does it overlap on itself? It didn't just now. Now it does. I don't like when it happens. Now it doesn't. Okay. It's perfect. Yeah, alright, I think I could use something like that. Maybe even add one more step here. So it's like a pyramid. I'm about your voice volume. Oh, thank you. Yeah, okay, it's fine. Good. Yeah, I like it. Nice. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. All right. The one thing is that it is doing this again, which it shouldn't. Oh, that's because it's lost the crease here. I just have to move it back. Here we go. Now it's fine. probably bake the simulation so I don't have to do it over and over again. Bake. I'm almost streaming for 2 hours. Nice. I don't know how long it will take me to make the room. Shouldn't be long. Like it should be just some simple, a bit noisy surfaces. Maybe some additional lighting. And maybe not. Maybe the LED strip should be the sole source of the light. Yeah, this looks nice. I like it. Actually, let's see how much light does the LED strip give in the Cycles engine. Okay, the one thing in Cycles, there is no option for backface culling. Like in Eevee I can enable it, but in Cycles it doesn't work. So I have to set up my material. I have to set up my material in such a way that it only shows on the inside. Oh, wait, skipped frames. Oh no. Hello, Artsphere. Thank you for following. I really appreciate it. This is my first stream. I'm glad you liked it. I'm gonna have more of that stuff like this soon for you. Right, my Streamlabs saying I'm having skipped frames. I don't know. Tell me if it's fine. Tell me if you notice something. It's 60 FPS, so even if it skips some frames, shouldn't be that bad. Oh, that's probably I started Cycles. Yeah, it's very CPU heavy if you don't switch to GPU compute. So that's probably. Hello? Sorry for that. I generally have pretty good internet, but for some reason, sometimes it just drops like this. I'll have to investigate it somehow. I don't know. I don't actually know how would I investigate it. It also kills my camera app for some reason, so I have to restart it. Now it has this white. Yeah, sorry for the technical difficulties. Alright, I think we're back and running. Okay, I was talking about backface culling in Cycles. So in Eevee, there is just a checkbox that you can enable to see through the back side of the surfaces. But if you switch to Cycles, it doesn't work. There actually is no checkbox like this. So to do the backface culling in Cycles, I would have to use a geometry option that is called backfacing. If I look at what it does, it makes the back face of the surface white and makes the front face of the surface black. Well, it's since my material is inverted, the actual front face is inside. My Streamlabs says I'm skipping frames. I'm certain that is because of the cycles, but how can I make it so this doesn't skip? Maybe I should make less samples? Let's have 4. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can do something about it. It still says it skips some frames. I will investigate it after the stream, so that next time we will not have problems like this. So, okay, let's go back. As I was saying, I have this back-facing parameter that lets me separate back face and front face in the shader. So all I have to do is have my main surface and also have a transparent shader, which is just, well, transparent. And now I can mix them using that back-facing option as a mask, like this. So if it's black, it means it's not back-facing, so it's the regular shader. And if it's white, that means it is back-facing, so it should be transparent. And the result is this. The same as backface culling in Eevee. So I think it's pretty good at lighting the room. Actually, it might be too even. I'd probably change that by making the floor a little darker, having a separate material on it. But yeah, it does a pretty good job of lighting the room. I will actually make the render off stream. But right now it looks fine. Yeah, let's continue to work in Eevee. Okay, so what's next? I guess I could actually make the room materials now. I could maybe have one like spotlight source for times that the strip is very dark, just so it doesn't go completely black. Let's actually move that wall all the way here. I don't know if I like this. What's the best angle here? Let's see. Maybe it actually should be like a corner. Or maybe something like this. Yeah, I think this is fine. Actually, I can take any frame from the simulation and freeze it if I don't like how the resting pose looks. Like, I'd like it to like hang a little from the top parts, so I could take an earlier frame. Like this one maybe? This looks pretty good. What is this, like 500? Okay, let's move our camera here. Oops. I don't know. Should I have a dude in the render? Maybe a silhouette. Maybe it should be like standing near us and facing the thing. Well, maybe not this exact dude, but whatever. It's like a default man. Some soup. Alright, let's leave it like this for now. Streamlabs is not happy. Alright, let's actually make the materials. So I could actually use like existing materials from something like textures.com to make like concrete and stuff, or I could try to make it procedural, which I'm not sure if I would be able to make like good procedural concrete. That would take time actually. Maybe I'm too lazy for this right now. Let's go to the website. So there's like textures.com, and there's also Texture Haven. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, let's just pick some textures and use it to shade, to not shade, to texture our room. Bricks are cool. I like bricks, but they're not very reflective. They wouldn't give much bounce light. Maybe white bricks. Although if I want to make it look like a museum of some sort, it should probably be like a painted wall. Okay, let's see what do we have here. Is there some sort of like linoleum? Linoleum is pretty cool because it's reflective. So we could see reflections of the LED strip in it. I don't know if they have it. They have fabric, leather red. I guess leather is a little like linoleum. I don't know if it would look right if I use it instead of the linoleum. Floor, let's see. Floor tiles. Brick floor. Yeah, it's all very rough. Maybe tiles are not rough, but wouldn't really make sense to have tiles here. I don't think so. Let's actually try leather and see how it looks. Let's take this one. I could probably change the color of it. All maps. 8K. Yeah, let's have the best quality. Gonna unzip it, and it has a bunch of textures in it, which I have to put into Blender to create a material. Let's do this now. So yeah, I would have to have a separate material for the floor. So I'm gonna make a new slot right away, create new material, and put those textures in. So let's see what we have here. Why would you only put one of them? I selected all of them. Okay, AO. Color 2. Why is there two colors? I'm not sure what the second one does. Excuse me. Color 1, color 2. Huh. Did they explain what the second color does? Is it just like two variants? I guess. Alright, so Principled Shader in Blender doesn't have AO, ambient occlusion, so instead of that I'm gonna multiply those two together with Mix RGB. Why don't I see? Oh, I forgot to assign the material. Here we go. Oh, not mix, multiply. And this is roughness, so it goes into roughness. This is normal, it goes into normal, but first I think we have to make the normal map node. It does some conversion from color to actual normals. Also lets us pick the strength. So I'm not gonna see any effect here because I don't have any light sources, but if I create a point light, it should be visible. It's not very visible. Oh, that's because I'm previewing the thing. Wow, okay, that's not right. Our normals are off. Well, they work, as you can see, but they're off. Shouldn't look like this. So it's probably because it has let's look at this texture. It's probably because we shouldn't use tangent space. No, wait. No. Why is this wrong? Actually, is it even a material problem? Might be a surface problem. No, I think it's a material problem. Map. Oh. Did I use this node in the wrong way? Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. When you use the texture, it reads it in a certain color space. And when we work with colors, like actual colors like diffuse and stuff, we would probably use sRGB to encode those. But when we work with data like normals, we should use linear because we don't want gamma to be applied to it. We want like, the values as they are. So here we go. Now I switched it to linear and it looks fine. Yeah, great. I solved the issue. So the only problem with this floor right now is that it's stretched. It's not UV mapped properly. That's because I created it by making a cube and just moving its sides. So it has this giant polygon. It's just this. It's not even the correct aspect ratio. So I have to remap it. Again, I could just use unwrap. Yeah, but it won't make it tile. If I want to make it tile, I'll probably have to use cube projection and a cube size. Let's make it 1. It's 1 meter. That might be too small. Let's see. Yeah, I can see the repetitions. Let's make it 2. Oh no, I should make it smaller. 0.5. Yeah, I think it's fine. There's still some weird... Is it actually tiled? The texture? I'm not sure. I think I can see the seams here. Or is it just folds on the leather? I'm not sure. Also could add some procedural variation so that it's not like completely flat, because like if you have a saw actual linoleum, it will probably be a little wavy. So let's add this. So we'll take our existing normal from the normal map and we'll also create another normal, or we could just use displacement with Musgrave texture. So Musgrave texture looks like this. Creates those big, chunky noise waves. I could even make it more chunky by making detail 1. Or maybe I could have some detail. I should probably make the scale a bit less, a bit smaller. Smaller, yes. And I can use that as a displacement. Does it work? I don't think it does. Oh yeah, it doesn't work if I use the normal map, which makes sense. Alright, so I should combine them after all. Let's make the so-called bump. Bump gives us another normal map, which we can use here. Let's change the strength of it. Now we have to combine it with this normal map. I'm not sure which is the correct way, because you cannot really just add them. It's not right to just add them, because they're normals. They're not just vectors. They have to be normalized. What if I mix them? Displacement. That's not right. Well, I mix them and then normalize the result. That should be good enough. Again, it's not probably the correct way, but it's the fast way. Vector math, normalize, and use that as the normal map. It's not very good because it made the normal map of the texture less intense. What if I just up the strength? Yeah, I think it will work. I think it should work. Let's change the color of the floor. I don't want it to be red. I want it to be just gray. So I will use hue saturation and reduce the saturation. Maybe I even want it to be slightly bluish, because we have this warm LED lights. So if I make the floor a little blue, it might make for an interesting combination. Like this. Okay, let's pick some other materials. The wall should be easier. Plaster. Maybe concrete. Oh, there's not much concrete here. Actually, what is the license for texture.com? I know the Texture Haven has CC0 textures, so you can just use them anywhere you want. What's the license here? Pricing. It's for commercial. I'm not making it for commercial purposes. I'm just gonna post it on Twitter. Not sure. I'm not sure. Should have researched it before. Up to 15 images for free every day. Images or materials? Actually, does it have materials? If I can download 15 images, does it mean that by 15 images, it means like one image for albedo, one image for normal? Or can I download the whole material? Okay, let's find some painted walls. Here you go. What's this? Stucco. Oh, it's like the, yeah, painted plaster. This is probably what I want. Compiled material, 100 credits. Oh, it's a substance. Have to log in. Oh, that's so hard. I just want the texture. Can just make an account real quick here. I probably have one actually. I don't remember. No captures. I think I'm a robot. I'm not even sure if I am. I could be. Okay, I have to activate my account. Yeah, sorry for that. I didn't actually plan for this. No stockpiling, downloading to make a local library. Register only one free account. Resell or distribution is not allowed. It's fine. I'm totally fine with those clauses. Now I want to get my texture. Log in. Oops. $15 free credits. Wait. 15 credits. That means... Oh yeah, so those are 1 credit. So 1 credit for each image means 15 images. Yeah, makes sense. Alright. Let's download this one. Wait, what is albedo, height? I don't need height. I only need normal. Let's download this. Let's download this one and this one. Cool. Okay, let's make another material for the walls. Normal, roughness, albedo. Actually, roughness, now that I think about it, roughness should probably be linear too, right? I guess. But I'm not sure. Alright, this is the third one. Let's rename it to wool. Normal will be linear. Roughness will be linear. Albedo will not be linear. Let's put it in here, put it into here, and make a normal map node and put it into here. Great. Plaster should be pretty rough. Let's see if I change it to sRGB. Yeah, that doesn't look right. I guess it should be linear. And once again, let's create a UV map for those walls. Cube projection 0.5 should be enough. Okay, that's great. Let's find some ceiling materials. I could probably like make more, you know, like interesting ceiling with a grid or something, but I don't know, I think I should end the stream soon enough. I've been streaming for more than 2 hours now. Oh, this one is nice. Concrete plates. Although it wouldn't really make sense for this strip to go out of concrete plates, right? Maybe it's just fixed on it. Yeah, whatever. Let's just make the concrete plates. Wait, it's just albedo. There's no roughness. Oh, whatever. I could use the albedo as roughness. Can do that. Okay, let's make final material. Just use the first slot. Let's make a new one. Call it ceiling. And use our texture that we just downloaded. So it'll be base color, and also so that it's not doesn't give those flat speculars. I'll also use it as roughness, but in general, you would want parts of the texture that are darker. You would generally want them to be rougher because those are usually like creases and stuff, which means they have more roughness. And the flat areas are usually lighter, so you want them to be less rough. So you kind of have to invert it. I'm gonna use color ramp. So this will be our the roughest part of the texture. This will be the smoothest part of the texture, which should be pretty rough too, because, well, it's concrete. Plug it into roughness and see what we have. Yeah, see, that works. Again, it's not ideal. That would be great if it just had roughness as a separate texture, but it works. Oh no, the backface culling doesn't work again. Yeah, I should re-enable it on all the materials that I use for the room, so that I can see through. Nice. And again, let's remake the UV map. 0.5. They could be even bigger. Concrete, like these concrete blocks are pretty big. Could probably use 1 as the cube size. Wait. Oh yeah, that would make them smaller. I need to make them bigger. Maybe 0.1. 0.5. 0.2. Alright, that's fine. What is this vertex here? I want to align it with the corner so that the panel isn't cut. Wait, actually. Should probably make some sort of a thing that holds the strip so that it just doesn't hang from the floor. Some sort of device. It shouldn't be very complex. Let's just make some boxes with bevels. Gonna make it. Usually you'd want to use the reference, but since we're improvising, I'm going to not do that. The point of this stream was the strip itself anyway, so now it's just like additional fun stuff. Oh no. Face orientation. This is wrong. Shouldn't be like this. Okay. They're doing it the completely wrong way. Oh no, wait. Shouldn't use the cursor. Yeah, here we go. That is better. Let's add some bevels here. Like this. Let's make this all bevel too. But give it, whoops, sorry for that. It's my alarm. It should be off. Wait a second. That's not good. That music was not licensed. Should probably disable that alarm. Alright. After some technical inconveniences, we're back. We were doing the bevels. So I could give it a little less weight. Oh, doesn't really look good here. Don't really like it. Maybe I should just apply the first one. Yeah, it's structural. Bevel. Wait. Oops. Okay, I should probably make a cut here, right? What's the fast way to it? The fast way to it would probably be bisect. So let's copy this to here, and this should be going straight up. Yeah, like this. So now I can just merge by distance. I shouldn't bevel those. Should bevel this though. What was the mean bevel weight here? This value. Shouldn't bevel those. Should bevel this. Shouldn't bevel those. Should bevel this. Will you put this on YouTube too? Yeah, why not? I'll probably put the VOD on YouTube, although it will be available on Twitch as a video. I will also render the animation of strip and put it on Twitter. Alright, yeah, that looks good enough for background detail. Let's add some plastic material. Nice, nice, true. Let's add some inconsistencies. Actually, I could just probably use this texture as a roughness or something. Oh no, like not this one, the wool one. Smart UV project. Very smart. Yeah, it's fine. It shouldn't be viewed up close anyway. Just for somewhere. I could, you know, I could add some like small lights here, just constantly flashing. Not flashing, but being lit. Just so it looks like some sort of device. Yeah, let's do that. I'm just gonna create a circle. Make it an angle circle. Rotate. Scale. Oops. The size of an LED. Let's make it roughly the same. Let's create material. Should be emission. And emission, cool thing about the emissive shader that it gives us strength option, so we don't have to multiply the vector by some value as we did before. I don't know, let's make it green. It will mean that it works. It's on. Let's copy it a bunch of times. That's how design works. Oh, I forgot to texture this thing. Maybe it should just be concrete too. Maybe even this one. It's like made from the... How do you call it when you create a form from the wooden planks and then fill it? I'm not sure. Casting? I don't know if it'll look good. I'm not sure. Let's see. That's the only one way to know. Let's download it. All maps. 8K, of course. Oh, that's almost half a gig. I'll probably delete it afterwards. if I don't forget to. Unzip. Okay. Let's do this. Let's create another material and put all those into here. There's a bump and it has normals. So I should probably use one of those. Take normals. I'll take... Oh, it even has displacement. Take roughness, AO, diffuse, specular. Oh, it has like maps for different ways of constructing materials. Like you can have metalness or you can have specular. So you can use any of those. Alright, once again, those are linear. Actually, ambient occlusion might have to be linear too. Let's mix those two together with the multiply blend mode. This will be our base color. This will be our roughness. And this will be our normal. But we'll have to create a normal map for that to work. Actually, oh no. There are some hotkeys in Node Wrangler to quickly create stuff like this, but I don't know them. I should learn. I should look them up at some point. Okay, let's do the Smart EV project. Great. Okay, I don't worry about it repeating, so I can scale it up. Looks kind of weird. Okay, let's move the texture. Let's move the UVs around. I like this part. It fit quite well in the part of the casting in one strip. So I could probably do that with others too. Oh, they are all the different sizes. Okay, actually, let's open it in the viewer so I can see what I'm doing, which usually helps. Actually, it's good that they are different sizes because I have different sizes on my model as well. So I could, this smaller walls could use this one. I can scale it a little bit up so that it fits completely. This one too. Where is it? Here you are. I don't worry about all the others because they're not on camera. So I'll just leave them as they are. I don't even know if I should worry about the top one. I probably shouldn't. I don't really see it too. Okay, this should probably be scaled a little down. Yeah, so as I said, I probably want to make an additional light source. But if it's in camera, it should be modeled. You shouldn't really have just light sources hanging around. Or I can hide it behind the strip. That would be smart, wouldn't it? Like around here. Let's make spotlight. And it will shine at us through the strip. So we're gonna see shadows and reflection on the floor. How do I change the cone? Oh, here it is. Just specify the angle. Okay, here we go. I could probably even add some volumetrics. I don't know but that would definitely make the render much slower. Okay, I want to have a shadow from the guy. See how it looks in cycles. I'm probably gonna drop some frames when I switch to cycles because, well, it does that. Yeah, I'm dropping frames right now. Know about this one. He's a vampire. What? Why? He doesn't have a shadow. He does have one. It's just very small because the light source is far away. What if I give less power to Blender, CPU wise? Should prevent frames from dropping. Oh wait, it's probably not the CPU, it's the GPU, right? Because Streamlabs uses GPU to encode the video when Cycles renders. It uses most of the GPU for itself, so that's why the frames are dropping. Yeah, I guess it's fine. Blom, tell me, is it fine? Do I drop a lot of frames? Is the audio okay? Frames mask. I'm not sure if I like this light. Maybe I should make it colored. Audio good. Well, that is important. It's fine if I drop a few frames. It would be worse if the audio was dropping. I should probably make a bigger render of this to see what does it look like if I hide the spotlight. It looks cool, but like I wanna have some contrast on the guy. Let's go back. So I can emulate this light in Eevee by having a very large point light here with no shadows. Yeah, I said no shadows. Are you casting shadows? Alright, maybe it doesn't use those options here. Switch to Eevee. Shadow, no shadow. So radius will be like this, and color will be something like this. Yeah, so that's sort of what it would look like. So I can work with other light sources too. I don't want the specular. Poor Streamlabs. Just wants to do his job. Actually, like... Well, then it should also somehow light this guy. So we get some reflections on him. Sorry. Lighting is hard. I'm not very good at it. Not gonna lie. That's a skill and a talent on its own. If I have two. Some nice rim lighting. Ooh, I like this. Wait, actually, I should have reflections in the floor. That was the idea. What about that? Let's max out screen space reflections. So floor is probably too rough right now. Let's try to change the roughness so it starts reflecting stuff. Make it a little less rough. Yeah, like this. Yeah, that is cool. That is cool. Obviously there's not gonna be this giant ball of light in the final render. Can I make it a little, yeah, like this. So I should probably make some compositional. Yeah, sorry, cannot speak and do it at the same time. So if I have this bright purple light here, I should probably have something to complement it on the other side, which could be the light source I was talking about. So I guess I would have to model it after all. It shouldn't be too hard. So that would be like a bright source here. Oh, and also this will be the source too. So that will be like a triangle, which is good. Triangle is a nice shape for composition. I should stop doing this. I should just use Shift X to move it alongside the wall. Yeah, let's make the light source. Stream will never end. I will be here forever. Let's make a cylinder. Oops, nope. Got to move the cursor. Let's make the cylinder. And yeah, let's leave it as that. Shade smooth, auto smooth, great. So I want it to be parented to the light, so I can just turn the light around and it will automatically turn the cylinder. So the way to do that would be to object without inverse, yes. I'm gonna make it here and then just duplicate it to the other one. Not gonna make it super complex, just an inset, an extrude. This whole thing, this can just use the same material as this thing up here. Let's call it plastic. Wait, what's the scale of it? I wonder. Come here. Yeah, that's about the scale it should be, but it goes into the wall right now. So yeah, I could move it like this. And this polygon will be its own material, which will be emissive. And it will be the same color as this, so I can just copy it and create and a miso shader. That. Oh, I forgot to sign it. Let's make it 10. So it's super strong. Alright, we don't actually see the source. I should probably fake it a little and rotate it. Wait. What's its axis? Oh no. This is not right. Just a little. No one will know. Don't tell anyone. Like this. Yeah. Cool. So it should probably also be held by something. So let's make a bunch of cubes. Which will use the same plastic material. Not gonna even bother with the unwrapping, because it will just be a couple of pixels in the final render. Oh no. Yeah. See? Wasn't that hard. Alright, let's just duplicate this now. And parent it to this one. So first, let's clear parent. And now, oops. Let's parent it to this one without inverse. Like that. Okay, all right. This looks fine. Yeah. I think I could try rendering the still in cycles and see how it looks. That will probably kill the stream. Yeah, let's hide this point. I'm gonna create a new collection for it. Fake light. Put it in here so I can just turn it on and off fast. So, okay, before I render it in cycles, I'm gonna set up the denoising, because it's gonna be noisy, because there's a lot of ambient light. The LED strips will give off a lot of noisy stuff, noisy light. So first I'm gonna enable the... Oh yeah, I have to switch to cycles. Here come the drops. Looks good, thank you. So I switched to cycles. Now I'm gonna go to the view layer options and enable denoising data. What it will do, it will, in compositing data, it will add all this stuff. Noisy image, denoising normal, denoising albedo, and I can use that in the denoise filter. Oh, that's the wrong one. Denoise filter to, well, denoise. And then after that I'm gonna add the glare. Oof. Right, so purple lights right now are much stronger than the LEDs, which might be okay. Yeah, I should probably just make a test render. Let's make it small, 50%. Let's make it 25%. And okay, are you ready for all the drops? Gonna drop the beat. Oh no. Oh no. Streamlabs. Yeah, it's not bad. Maybe I could make the spotlights just a little less bright, so they don't take too much attention from the LED. Also, the denoiser killed my LEDs. Thought they're noise. I hope that doesn't happen on the final render. They should be big enough. In one basket, do you mean they like it? They come very quickly and everything is sped up, or it just freezes? Eevee. Actually, I wonder if I can somehow disable the light in the reflections. Probably can't. I don't think it's something you can do. You could disable specular altogether on the material, then you wouldn't get any reflections and you wouldn't get this too. Let's make it 1000. Yeah, freeze. Well, cycles is heavy on the resources. I'm not sure. I should probably look it up what people do when they render on stream. Maybe they just don't. I think ideally you would have like a render farm or maybe a separate machine for rendering. Sound was still good. That's good. At least the music doesn't drop. That's good. At least you have something to listen to while the render happens. Okay, so what? Yeah, I wanted to make them a little less bright. Also, I don't know if it's a good idea, but maybe I could also add small point sources here so that they create a little spots around the light. It's not how it should work. It's not how it should work. But it's what I feel like I want to do. I don't know. Let's see how it looks. Just to make like sort of like a little glare around it. Maybe even without shadows. Oh no. Yeah, my voice. Well, yeah, if the music stays, then the voice should stay too. That makes sense. I don't know. That I like how it looks, but it also is so wrong. Maybe if I make them very, very what's the word? Not soft. Barely visible. Let's try this one. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, it's gonna drop again. Why? Why what? Sorry. There's a delay. I forgot what I was talking about. You mean why it's wrong? Why it looks wrong? Well, it's a directed light. It shouldn't light what's behind it. Like, I mean, it makes sense as a glare, but glares happen in the lens. So if I want to do that, I should just increase the. Actually, that's probably what I should do. Maybe I should make this emissive surface brighter so it gives more glare. I don't like this part. Feels empty. It's not a very good composition. What can I do about it? If I move guy. Here. And slightly offset the whole thing. Oh no, does he float? No, it doesn't. A picture. Not another guy, but just a picture. Still something wrong with it. Can't put my finger on it. There's a lot of reflection here, but no reflections there at all. I could have a bit of that, but just the reflection. I don't want this. I want this. So what if I do make it more emissive? Let's make it 100. I don't know if Eevee will pick up on this. Probably not. Well, it does pick up on the strip. Come on, give me the reflection, please. It's like more than an art museum. Yeah, that's the idea, basically. It's still skipping, huh? Interesting. Even in Eevee. Is it because of the reflections? Oops. Okay, let's look at the cycles real quick. Actually, let's hide the strip for now. Let's only look at those. Yeah, there's a lot of this purple light in this part, and barely any in this part. Oh, there are some reflections now. Let's delete this. This is hard. What if I do something like this? Where's my plane? If I lower it, increase the radius. I can slightly reduce this this highlight by turning it a little away from us, while still keeping the shadow. I'll rename it the room. I keep searching for it all the time. Okay, so what do I want to do? Oh yeah, I want to try up the roughness a little. Then I lose all the cool reflections. I don't want to lose them. Make it really bright. Really bright. No. I feel a little stuck. Didn't do much in past 20 minutes or something. Just moving lights around. Maybe I just should stop. Call it a day. 'Cause I like the result. I could tweak it infinitely probably, but like I probably shouldn't. Right, so what I want to do is I want to duplicate this plane so that I have the copy. If I want to change it later, I'm gonna make it put it into fake light collection because I don't want to render it. And I'm gonna apply the cloth simulation so it'll be static. So yeah, I like this frame here. Somewhere around here. No, does it intersect? What is this? What's going on here? Oh no. Oh no. Well, wait. Why does it happen? I turned down the self collision. Is it because the polygons are too big? That's a shame. I could fix it manually, it's fine. Yeah, this frame is nice. I'm gonna use this one. So I'm just gonna go to the modifiers and apply cloth modifier. So now it will be like this for the whole scene. Now I could also unparent this so it doesn't move with the floor collision. And also stays. Oh, hello. Slogmander? I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. What do you think about the Industrial Revolution of 1530? To be honest, I'm not very good with history. I'm kind of bad with shaders. I cannot tell you my opinion. I will have to research it. I can tell you the Industrial Revolution didn't happen here until a long time after that in Russia. So we were kind of behind on that. Okay, yeah, this is a nice frame. I will render a still right now, and then I'll render the animation overnight. Because I want to see the light changing in the room as the LEDs move around. LEDs. Well, I call them LEDs. Well, they are sort of spelled like that, right? LEDs. Do people in English actually call them LEDs, or do you have to say LED all the time? I'm not sure about that. Okay, let's try to render another still. Let's pick some nice frame, like this one. Maybe this. Yeah, I like this one. Switch to cycles. And it's gonna drop frames. Okay, let's see result. Oh yeah, now they shine much. They glare much brighter. Maybe too bright actually. You don't even see the supports now. This part is still a little empty. I don't know, maybe I should just add another person there. I don't know. Okay, gonna fix the brightness. Here, let's change it to 50. Let's see how that looks. Okay, I actually saw some samples here for the left light, and then it lost it. There's probably too little for denoiser. Maybe if I render it at the bigger resolution, they will be more visible. Not sure about that. Right. Well, I think that's it. That's what I wanted to accomplish for the day. I'm gonna spend some more time rendering it, like figuring out the resolutions and stuff, but it will obviously not be very good for streaming because, well, you saw what happens when I'm rendering even the small image. And it's mostly just waiting anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna stop for now. I'm gonna play Trackmania, the new one, later today when it comes out. I'm not sure when it comes out. Maybe it even has. Let's check, actually. Library. Trackmania. No, it hasn't come out yet. It will come out in a few hours, and pretty much after it comes out, I will be playing it here on this stream. And before that, I will render the image, post it on Twitter, and this night I will render the animation and post it on Twitter too. So, thank you for everyone who was watching. That was an enjoyable stream. This was my first one. If you don't know, I've never done this before. It was quite fun. Thank you, Blom Blom, for helping me with stuff. With the feedback on audio and stuff. Come back. I will post on Twitter. I will stream pretty regularly, actually. I'll probably stream pretty much every day. I don't have a schedule right now, but I will make one after I figure stuff out. Like I'm still figuring out. I'm not sure what is the best time and all that. Thanks, Terzal. You're welcome, Blom Blom. I'm here for you. So yeah, see you later today for the new Trackmania, and after that for more stuff like this, shaders and scenes and cool things in Blender, because that's what we do here. We do cool things. Okay, thank you for hanging out. Bye.